And good afternoon, everybody. We've got 5 days of very exciting news. I'm talking to you this afternoon about discovering 2020 Cloud. It's a new and exciting way to discover catalogs. It relies on you, ladies and gents, joining the community, 2020 community, and I'll just show you briefly where and what that actually is all about. I'm just going to take you onto the software itself. So here I am actually inside 2020 Fusion. It's true I've cancelled my customer database, and I want to draw your attention up on the top corner there. There's like a little conference symbol, a large orange person with a couple of grey people behind. And if you were to click that, that takes you straight into the internet, and that takes you onto the community. Now the community, the idea behind the community is that you can feed back to 2020 Fusion a number of ideas that you would like, or alternatively you can ask questions and people within the company will come back and give you answers. But it's also the way into 2020 Cloud. We need to actually register, and it's a very, very simple process. Once registered, by the way, it's free of charge. Once registered, you'll have an email registration. It will just clarify that your email address is actually kosher. And as you can see here, I'm already actually in the system. But 2020 Cloud actually relies on this piece of software, and you can actually find it within 2020 Fusion, or you can actually find it on your desktop. When this software is installed, it's actually here as well. So this is a full instruction sheet. You can rerun it, print it off. It's 4 pages long, and it just tells you what is required, what the settings are. It's very, very simple to work. And the good news is that once you've got into the community and logged on, you'll be given a confirmation email, and the software will then ask you to fill out your email address, confirm it, create a password, and it will go on and ask which country you're in, basically Europe, America or Canada, and then it will send you that confirmation, and from there on in you can sign in to the software itself. Briefly, this is what it's about. This a simple and easy process once you've logged on to your password, and I'll show you that in a couple of minutes. What it's doing is showing you this area here. This is actually the cloud, and I'll show you how to activate it in your software in a couple of moments. And once you've logged in, then you can have access to the 2020 Cloud, where there are new and exciting catalogs. And they will be added to almost weekly now. Between now and 2018 and 19, we'll be bringing in all the catalogs over here instead of being in your hard drive. So tomorrow we're going to be talking about the actual object itself and how we can use and observe the catalogs. So I'm just going to go back now to my software and show you what and where we are. So if I simply bring up perhaps a customer, and we go within the software itself, so I'm opening up this design, what you'll see is straight away is recognizing here that is the cloud. Down on the bottom here, we've still got the navigational view and the catalog view, the ones that you know so well. So the idea being that we will be advancing all the catalogs over the next year, 18 months, and instead of them being in this particular area, they will be live within the cloud. Now, for those that were listening, I said live. And what that means is that any updates on catalogs will be updated very, very frequently by the manufacturers. So to get cloud, all one needs to do once you've registered is click on the Insert tab, the little drop-down arrow here, and you'll see the symbol for 2020 Cloud. Once you've clicked that, it then puts the Cloud tab down on the bottom here with the other 3 tabs. Now, if you're unsure about how these work, how to put them down here, do go on to our support website, and there are some videos that are anchored to YouTube, and these can be seen, watched. They're all free of charge. They're available whenever you want to. So let's have a look at Cloud. So the first thing you'll notice, if you checkmark remember the email, it remembers who you are and what you're doing, but you need to each and every time put in your password, and hopefully I've remembered mine today. What happens when you go into sign, it will check that you are kosher and you know who you are, and here I go, putting in the correct one and signing in again. And the moment that it recognizes you, you'll see this word authenticating. Now, this is the exciting part about all of this. This is live now within my software, and it's acting. And there are actually 2 tabs in here, and we're saying a lot more about this tomorrow. But effectively, you're looking at 2 tabs, News and Browse. Now, in News, this always opens up. It is the default one. It has a list of the catalogs on a date suggestion that allow you to see what is changing. And as we come down here, you'll notice that there are mentioning in here a lot of the appliance sink manufacturers that you've been waiting for a long time. So if you're wanting stools, bar stools, DS Sales, fabulous, up-to-date shapes in there. Sharps, AEG, Neff, or how long have we been waiting for Neff to be updated? It's actually right bang up to date right now. Bosch, Williams, and in fairness, there are some catalogues in here that are not UK or Irish bound, they're Americans, and bless them, they're here waiting for you. However, if you want to look a little bit further, we can actually go in here and have a look at a bit of news on Smeg catalog updates. And if I click that link there, what it will do is to drive up the internet, take us within community. Here we are, we're inside the community, and they're suggesting now that we've got right bang up to date shapes of the Smeg worktop appliances. And I'm sure you'll agree that is a sensational idea. So it's there. What we've done is we've listened to people and we put in here shapes, etc., etc. So coming down here, Siemens have been updated, and coming all the way down, you'll see regularly items in here instead of the older shapes that we've had in advanced graphics. We've now got very modern shapes, and more importantly, we can actually now update as you request newer shapes. We can update them and build them into there. So you asked, we listened. So when I click that, it will take us back to the community, and it now tells us that we've got some fabulous shapes in here for Belfast sinks. They're actually within the cloud itself. So all in all, I think you'll begin to get the idea that it's really quite exciting. And if I take you now to the second tab, Browse, when I click Browse, it then gives me a full list of all the catalogs that are currently available. And in here, if I click this little drop-down arrow, you can see that they're all selected. And currently we've got things like Sub-Zero, and if I come further up into here, DS Sales, I promised you all about DS Sales and bar stools. Electrolux, you've got in here BSH, so all of those things are available. If I deselect that, then I can simply come back into here and take you into 2020. Now, to make this work, as soon as you select a manufacturer, you simply click on the top line where it's mentioned, and then we can start to come down here and work with decorative items. And I could come through here and suggest to you that you might want to go and have a look at pictures and posters, for instance. Here's posters. And there's a picture of Casablanca. Now, there are two tabs down here. One a preview and one about the information regarding it. So the depth, the height, the thickness, etc. And also price. We're going to say a lot more about this tomorrow. But this is the way cloud is working. It's really quite exciting. Now, we mentioned appliances. Well, let me deselect 2020 and perhaps go down to BSH. And in BSH, we can then click the line so that it refreshes in the cloud. I can then select which one. I mentioned NEF earlier. So if I click NEF now, it's filtering all the NEF appliances. And I can come down here and choose to look at 600 single ovens built under. Choosing any one of these, I can select it. I can see in here the information regarding it. But if I wanted to, if I click preview, I could also see a preview of that oven. Just clicking these little buttons are able to enhance this experience. Now, let's have a look. If I press for more information, you're going to be really excited about this. I know it's winding up the website for NEF, and it's found the website, found the actual product. It displays the suggested retail selling price, and it gives you all the information that you may well desire. So full technical specification, all this sort of thing is available straight away within Fusion. And of course now to place that product, all you've got to do is tell it where to be placed and say add. And within seconds off the internet through 2020 Cloud, we actually have a real live NEF oven. Now the only thing that we would need to do then is tell it what height, that is Z, what height to be off the floor. So obviously plinth height, and then the bottom drawer or dummy drawer will be then able to be put into the oven housing itself. So I think you'll agree already that 2020 Cloud is very, very much here and now. It's exciting. We've got two options down here, replace or add. I just added, and it added where the cursor was. But be aware, ladies and gents, that there are some 2, 3, and sometimes 8 pages of objects. So don't just take this first page as face value. Do look for more indicators down here. For instance, I mentioned DF sales. DF sales, if you wanted to know, for instance, DF sales, if I click that line again, coming into here, you'll notice that there are 8 pages of stools, all sorts of different bar stools going on in here. And you'll find out more tomorrow how I can simply place them, and that is putting your cursor where you need it to be, and that stool now is in your live design, and it can be manipulated, changed, altered, dragged around, whatever else one wants to do with that. So I hope you've agreed that 2020 Cloud is really rather exciting. It's the place to be. It is where we're going to be in the future. The cloud is changing almost every single week. It starts off in life with the community. Is where you and the Fusion can exchange ideas, you can ask questions, you can ask for suggestions of shapes and sizes, etc., etc. Any more that you need, you can find actually on the 2020 Fusion training site, and I'll give you a little glimpse of that in a couple of minutes, where we will offer you both online training and also classroom-style training, largely in the south of England or Bolton in Manchester North. And they are available usually on a monthly basis. So I hope you've enjoyed today's webinar, and we'll be live again tomorrow.